This is not a review. If you are watching in the future, this is not a review. It's doing a live, just impressions. Um, yeah, and yeah, it's just a weekend thing for me to do some live, just talking to people and stuff. Also, like keeping in touch with friends and people I know like that. So it's a weekend thing for me. Um, Let me see. Okay, I just called out my friends. Like if they're if they're interested in coming here and yeah, I won't be surprised, but probably after like a few minutes, big amount of influx come here and comment hi, something like that. It's probably just the YouTube algorithm. But let me see if I have some people here. Oh, there's one. It's probably one of my buddies here. I don't know who, but just letting you know if you're watching this from the future, it is it is not a review. Just first impressions. I got the NA20 from NF Acous, formerly NF Audio. Um, I know why they changed the name, but it's still NF. NF, not really sure what that means, but yeah. It should be interesting. Let's see. What do I mean, like I have their NA plus and it's so confusing. The names are so confusing, but I graphed it already. Is it in my squig now? Yeah. Doesn't really like mm, yeah, graph wise, kind of like iffy tonight. Um, you see a big peak there around 5K. It's, some people are probably very sensitive to that area. Um, oh, look at that. Big influx of people. Okay. Well, thanks for clicking, guys. It's the YouTube algorithm. Oh, and then down to 10. They probably clicked, and then, nope, not this guy. Oh, man. But it's a good way. I mean, I know it's YouTube's way of helping content creators, I guess, discover their channel, stuff like that. I just feel like reviewing IEMs, it's a very niche content, that like why would people talk about bass, mids, and treble? Honestly, like I mean, it's coming from me. It's funny. But then again, when you reach to a point where you've listened to a lot of IMs, you do feel, like kind of like train your ears into like what good sounding is. But at the end of the day, you actually enjoy sets that doesn't really rank good or like at least on graphs. Like, and that brings me to the NA20. Like, graph wise, it's far behind the standards. Like, it's a classic V-shaped IM. It is like, you get a there's not like no. It's just classic V mid bass treble and that's it. Does it sound like that? Kinda. Yeah, you do feel the boost in there around the 4 to 6K. Boosts in that area Um, has this kind of like fake resolution to them. Um, but it works. It's not as peaky as it looks, or maybe my ears are just screwed. Um, yeah, so that's what I think. Can I actually run? Let me just listen to this again. Are you guys able to hear me though? Like, I usually get comments like when those influx of viewers come. I usually get comments, but not now. I'm not sure if I turned it off or something. Just if you're watching, please let me know if you're able to hear me or are you able to comment or something. Let's see. The Worst by Polyphia. I'm listening to the Worst by Polyphia. Yep. Let me let me listen again to man, it actually sounds decent. Yeah, it actually sounds decent. Let me just do the unwell. Yeah, it does sound like it has that boost in the upper mids. Um yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Right. So there's a penalty though. The penalty is in the male vocals because you see there's like a very it's just a classic V. Now, say for example, I have a set here, the Mega 5P. It doesn't really have like the pinna gain or the gain. It has like a more relaxed gain approach, and so it is very natural sounding. The Mega 5P. I've just made a post about this actually. I spammed Facebook groups just I don't know 10 minutes ago. So let's see Mega 5P. Man, this is so natural sounding, dude. Man, I so love the Mega 5P. I'm glad I bought this. I bought this when I was in Japan. Immediately. Yeah. It's it's good. So, yeah, NF NA2, it's a single DD. How much are these anyway? Like oh, oh my god. Timmy just posted a video. Um NF Acous NA20. That should be how much is it? $118, man. 120, $119. Huh. Okay. Yep. Let's see. And there's already a lot of reviews on HeadFi. Yeah. Okay. Their unboxing is really good though. Is this OB? Probably not. Is this? Oh, yeah, it's NA20. Kind of like Harman. Yep, there's a big peak in there. Let's see. 3 stars. Yeah, but man, like $120, right? Like that's for a single DD, and it graphs like this. I know they're trying to be different or like stay to their tuning philosophy. Um, but I don't know, like, and they're trying for musicians, like, you know what, like musicians don't really care. I mean, this might be even be good for musicians. Um, uh, what can I say? Wow, yeah, I know it doesn't really sound bad. I mean, like compared to how it's graphed, but then again, it is $100 set. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it though. I'm trying to be practical here. It's $100. What do you guys think? I mean, what do you think? Like, look at um, what I'm not sure if uh, how to read graphs or if you have a target curve, but when you look at graphs on Squig, what do you think about the tuning of the NA20? I mean, is it okay for you, or is it a big no-no? Like, wow, a lot of they're not even calling them out for, I mean, like, I'm gonna set an example here. This is gonna be very painful. Like, K-Fine Clean, right? How much is K-Fine Clean? $50. $50, right? Probably, yeah. It's not now. NF Audio's been here for a while. Like when I bought my Acous RS1, I was torn between an NF Audio model and the Acous RS1, but I ended up getting the Acous RS1 anyway. They make good single DD sets, but the question is like the tuning on the NF Audio Acoustic and N820 doesn't look like they have even like filters in them. I don't know if there are because of that peak in there, you know? You know what I mean? Um, it's built nice, definitely it's built nice, but you're right, I'm pretty sure there's a surge of new brands. Yes, the N820 they sent it for review. Along with I had one before, like is it the NN, what is that, N audio NA2 plus. I have the NA2 plus. um hey, yeah, AJ, yeah, we're talking about like and this kind of tuning is, I don't know if it's just their tuning philosophy. It's always been like this. Like when you look at other Squig, NF Audio has this kind of tuning direction. And I'm not saying that it's bad, it's just that, again, where was I? K-Fine Clean. K-Fine Clean is like $50. And I'd probably pick K-Fine Clean. 10 out of 10. Graph wise and sound. Just to set the standard in there. And I think NF Audio, they've made their market, they don't really, I think their main market is musicians, and musicians are very forgiving. They're very forgiving when it comes to tuning. I mean, like the overall tonality, because when you're in that like very loud environment, man, like you don't like tuning is the last thing you're gonna need. And I understand this coming from like I played music, I played the drums, I was on stage before. You really need to boost certain frequencies when you're on stage because otherwise you're not gonna hear anything. I mean, like you can hear, but it's just hard to follow, especially click tracks. And click tracks, as a drummer, it lies around, like 4 or 6K. If you, like, if I say, for example, tune my IM to have that presence lower, man, I'm gonna get lost, you know? And I understand. And NF Akos, their target, they're musicians, and you can see that in their website or whatever. And the way they present their IMs, it's for music, music series, and for musicians. Um, and that's just the way it is, like. And again, yeah, musicians are very forgiving. They don't really, dude, like. When I was younger, I didn't really care about what IMs I was listening to. I can just, like when you're catching chords, audiophiles are the most like when you're, I don't know, when you play music and when you like go to this, I mean, you go to like the audiophile rabbit hole, you're gonna get surprised how people make a big of a deal. The tunings are the bass and stuff like that. Of course, I understand that they sound really good, but or maybe I just, I'm just really not picky. Was it NF Audio set? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like single DD wise, they're, like they're there. It's just that, but hey, again, if their marketing is successful, because again they're not into like because like if you if you ask for example Mark or Super Reviews, if you ask Mark to review Mark's probably give this like a 2 star or 1 star, you know what I mean? Like I don't even see him review, like he had sets but I don't think he reviewed it. It's that Crin, like not, it's not gonna end up in Crin's shop. And so like, you know what I mean? But still, NF Audio, when you look at their website, when you look at their marketing strategy, they're not really directed to like the audiophiles. It's more of like musicians. I would have wished though that they changed their shells because they have this standard, like IM shells. Um, the bean shaped, so when you're on stage it's either gonna be like it's hard to do like this universal design of shells, because it's not gonna fit everyone. It's either gonna be custom fitted, right? But the bean ones, like the bean shaped, like Sennheiser style, like bean shaped, I think 80% of like musician I think it would fit 80% of the ears compared to like these kinds of fitting. This one would work if they had like pronounced what are those called, like ear hooks or something. Say for example like the Affle, like man, like Affle shells are really comfortable. Like they're very comfortable. Like the high senior Mega 5P, like this one here, you see that like protruding ear something. They're comfortable like that. It's not like it's different with this one here. It's just flat. So it's actually a little bit finicky when you're on stage, and especially if you headbang. Like, I mean, they seal fine. They're lightweight. Um, Most of my pending sets are of single DDs. Man, you're always on pending, dude. Like, yeah. I don't want to say that I missed the times. Like, when I was in the Philippines, I was, like, I know there were so many, because sets coming from you, and then Hi-Fi Go, and then, I know. And I'm happy with my, not really happy, like, I'm fine with my pace now. Like, I get to rest. I don't have to worry about like pending 5, 6 reviews or something. I'm fine with my pace now. Although sometimes I'd wish I could try other sets, but the question is, do I really have the time to review them? And I sometimes I don't really. I it's hard to explain. Oh, okay, the ZVX. Blunt. I've never tried the ZVX Pro, but I've tried the ZVX, the original ZVX. How much are they though? Let's see here. Prop. Yeah, I probably I kind of like know what you mean with doll and the technicalities. I kind of like know what you mean by that. It's not really thin sounding, but to say the least, probably not mature sounding enough. That's yeah. I mean, they're cheap. I understand. They're just tuned okay-ish. Um, right. Yeah, they're just tuned okay-ish. But I did review their single DD. What was that? The Zenith. The Zenith is legit good, actually. I mean, yeah, it was good. I just wish it didn't have the switches. 7 pendings and 3 incomings. Man, that's a lot. Oh yeah, going back to my reviews. Like for example, if I don't like to film myself and doing a review haphazardly. I don't like it's just I don't know. I'm just probably not that kind of person who would release something haphazardly or something like that. Yeah, I tried their multiple BAs. I don't know. They used to send me stuff. They stopped when I. Now I'm honest. I try to be honest with my reviews, and like before, I really like. I mean, I like Casey because they're. I come from a country where having an earphone is a luxury. I'm from the Philippines, and it's not always, accessible for everyone. So, like, and I like Case's approach. They have this philosophy that, like, it should be available to everyone, stuff like that. And there are compromises to that, of course. They don't kill other single DDs, but we were really hoping they would tune better because at that time, they were just like Pokemon like every month. It was crazy. It was fun. That was like after COVID stuff and oh my god. And it seems like they're really holding on to tuning stuff. Like they could tune. We knew like Paul Wasabi, we knew they could tune, but it's just that maybe they have this schedule release and when to do it, stuff like that. Because it's a big company, man. It's a factory and they have employees to pay. Like if they do a one shot good tuned IEM, then I don't know how it would work though, but probably that's just their, you know, business model, like high volume release like Samsung or Xiaomi, it works. And the consumers are at a toll of getting stressed. Like you just, you buy in a model, and then 6 months from now, that model's value is lesser because they come up with a newer model. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. It can be. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, I miss writing. Um, Sometimes I write like short reviews like that. I know it can be. Um, but hey, man, like Chris, Chris, right? Chris Love, man. Dude, I can't even imagine how he's doing that kind of output. Like, and it's crazy because it's like his reviews are not short. His reviews are long, and he's pumping. Like man, like that's a different kind of. And he has a full time job. Let me tell you, he has a full time job. Because here in the U.S. we're sharing sets, right? Like hey, you want to hear this, and let me try them, and like send sets like stuff, something like that. And we were chatting yesterday, like I was asking him like, hey, like do you have the tracking of this one here? Because in the US apparently sometimes like the courier, they don't knock at your door, they just leave the package outside your door. And packages being stolen is it's a thing. I haven't tried it yet, but I just want to be careful. So just want to know if he had sent the package so that I would expect when for it to arrive and make sure that I'm home during the delivery date. And it was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was busy. And I'm like, man, like if you're busy like that in real life, like how are you able to do this kind of output? It's crazy. That's a different kind of passion. I like that guy. It's just, and here his reviews are not done haphazardly. It's just, like it felt like he really listened to it, but sometimes I just think that it's a little bit too long to read. But he really put his time in there, man. Like writing, it's not, like when you read a review, there's so much time put into it. There is so much time put into it. Like especially for people who do written and video. I used to do that. I just don't have the time. I mean, I could do it, but um, for example, writing reviews, you have to listen to it, and then sometimes when you listen to other IEMs, you go back, and then oh my god, like, am I right with the bass on this one here? And sometimes it's not really. Sometimes it's like a battle of yourself, because you're trying to verify what you're writing. Like for example, you're right, like the bass is blah blah blah, and then when you listen to it again, it's like, oh, what's the bass like this? Like it's probably not the IM. It's just, like maybe you'll listen to a different kind of IM, and then you verify again. I'm like, huh, you know. And you have that struggle in you that am I really gonna release this kind of impression to people? At least that's for me, like do I really let them know that the bass is clean even if it's not? So sometimes it's a like a struggle within yourself on how you would let the readers know. Um, yeah, I know his writings are long. Um, yeah, crazy, 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 crazy guy. But I mean, he gets it done, man. Like I know he said like he's got a lot of. I can't do that. I mean, if I don't have a regular job, I probably can. When I was in Japan, I could probably do reviews more because only because I had that time to write. Always report unclean base. Definitely, man. always report unclean bass. Definitely. That's something I'm very like bass for me. I'm very picky on bass because me, I'm a drummer. I mean, not really picky, but I have my right now. One of the best implementations of bass would be a DD plus a passive radiator that is done right, and yeah, like the SimGod EA1000 that bass. What else? What was that? The binary audio. God, I always forget. The Dyna Quattro, man, that's some good bass in there. Mega 5B bass, man, like this is legit. I don't. Let me see. I just posted this one like I don't know 30 minutes ago. Um, let's see if got some response here. Oh, yay! Yeah, I mean, like, I posted about the Mega 5P. You've probably seen it, like, on Facebook groups by now. No, I was just, because it's here. Okay, so if you want to look at my mess in here. Okay, I'll show you my mess. This is my mess. This is what my desk look like. Okay, this is my PC here, and look at that there. So those cameras and everything, and you see that area there. Or you see that? Yeah, these are like my favorite sets are there. Like, so what I mean by that is like my reference sets are there. Studio 4, S12s, um, and for a set to get here, it has to really stand the test of time. I just love. So the sets that are here, we have the Studio 4s, the Mega 5P, of course, the Let's Show S12 2024s, the Chopin, Timmy's collab. Um, what's this one? The blue one. Do you know Falcon Ultra? Elysian Pilgrim and Apple P8. Now, all of these here, they're differently tuned because they have character. Right now, I don't only rank sets, I also kind of like, I don't know, like a character. How do I explain character though? Like if you've listened to different kind of sets, you'd probably, I don't know, because when I was in Japan, it's like, man, like it's so everything can sound really overwhelming, and they'd sound the same, and you'd probably look for a character on a certain set. 150 product reviews, that's a lot. Probably. Nah, man, his output is where'd that come from? Is it from HeadFi? I'm not really active in HeadFi anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Probably it's from HeadFi. Yes, I did try an R2R DAC. The Darwin. What was that? High B Darwin. Was it? Is it High B Darwin? I was in Japan at that time. Is it the RS2? The yeah, the RS2. Now, at that time, I was in Japan. Was it 2021, 2022, like that? I forgot. I was on the Osaka Porta Fest, and that was the time I knew that it's pronounced Hybe. We've been calling it Hebe, Hebe, Hebe. And so I went to the rep and then, oh, you want to try Hybe? Like, what? I didn't know that. Do you say Hybe? It said, yeah, we say it's Hybe. It's Hybe, not Hebe. Anyhow, yeah, I did try the RS2, and after that, they have the was it the FC6? Yeah, it was the FC6. It was from AJ. I think it was from AJ FC6. I think I reviewed it. I like art. It's not like I like R2R. It definitely tames. I don't even call it tame, but yeah, there's something going on there in their treble. Yeah, definitely there's something going on in the treble. For some reason, it takes off the edges of treble. I don't like it paired with warm sets. It becomes overly warm. So, and it makes more sense. I think R2R is best paired with hybrids compared to like single DDs. I mean, yeah, they become really warm with single DDs, but yeah. That's my impression about the R2R. I know, like, technically and with its design, there are some flaws and, signal, something like that. I don't want to dig deeper into that. Not because I know. It's actually, I don't really know a lot about the engineering and stuff behind it. I just, have an idea that engineering wise, there are some flaws with R2R, with the signal and stuff. But hey, I mean, it's not really, you know, it's nice sounding actually. I mean, like it certainly it pairs with some IEMs and it doesn't pair with some. So it's a source thing. Yep, it definitely is a source thing. Why'd you ask, Mixale? Do you like R2R sound? R2R with a tube amp? I don't know. I honestly don't know. What would I say about an R2R with a tube amp? I honestly don't know. How warm can you go? That's the question. Really? How warm can you go? Dang. I don't know if I'm gonna do that though. Like, I have not tried a tube amp myself. I have not tried a tube amp. I don't want to go to that rabbit hole. Probably in the future. It's not that I know that sources have a little bit of difference, but for me it doesn't make enough difference to justify how much I pay, you know what I mean? If I have to buy a source like a DAP for example, size and the function matters most to me. I'm thinking of buying, like my Shanling M3X, it's already old. I'm probably buying the new M3 Plus because it's small enough, it's new Android, I think about future proofing. Tube amp, like I don't have a use case for a tube amp like cuz I'm out and about during the day and when I get home, like there's really no chance. And I can't, you know, it's hard to, like, it's just hard for me to commit to something that I don't really use. Ooh, man, Shanling sound, I like Shanling sound. If it's Shanling, I'd probably do it. Because you mentioned Shanling. I like Shanling sound. Because Sony, okay, I know, this, I don't know. I just like Shanling. I just like Shanling. They're just natural sounding. Their implementation is so. I don't know. They, yeah. They. I just like Shanling sound. And no matter how. I mean, yeah, like Theo and other stuff, Hybe, they sound good. I mean, like they sound good, but it's just I just go back to Shanling. Like it's just different. It feels home. It feels home when I listen to my M3X. Dude, like it's how old is my M3X? Like 5 years old? I'm probably older, and I still like the sound of it. And it's an ESS DAC. You know, it's supposed to be clinical, but no, they tamed that ESS down to sound it really natural. Um, yeah. So I'd probably buy the Shanling M3 Plus. Yep. Shanling Easy Zero T. Right. How much is the Man, my wife's gonna get angry with this purchase. How much is this? Uh 469. Ah, man, plus tariffs. Dang. Probably easily 500. Yeah, I can probably just swallow it. They definitely add warmth, and I don't really think that when you say warmth, I actually don't think it's actually increasing the bass like um dB wise, but I think it's making the lower frequencies linger more. If that makes sense, that's what my perception, because like I tried measuring sources and sometimes they increase, like when I go to Rue and measure their linearity, sometimes there's a dip on the bass, and when there is like the if there is a roll off in the sub bass, it makes the bass a little bit leaner, but when it extends further, it makes the bass linger more, if that makes sense. And so it you get an impression of warmth because it lingers more. Not that it's muddying up and everything or anything, but it just reverberates more, if that makes sense. Tubes are toggled on and off, yeah. I think there's this tube amp DAP. Was it from Onyx? Waltz, is it? What? I thought it was tube, right? No? Or was it Shanling? No, it was Shanling. I think it was Shanling. I don't know. M8T, was it? Yeah, it's M8T. It has tube, right? It's a DAP with a tube. Or is this a tube? Yeah, it's a flagship DAP with tubes. But it's flagship, so how much does it cost? It's probably like, I don't know, easy $1,000 for this. Yeah, M8T. Man, how when was it? When was it posted though? Last year, yeah. Shit made a collab. I think yeah, I have the Fossey Audio K7 here. After I'm done with this review, I don't know, maybe I think they have a tube amp now. That would be a great introduction for me to test, tube amps. But the thing is like I don't know, I feel like it's like amp like these they're better suited with headphones. It's just to like, yeah. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, it's fine. Probably headphones. Like I know there are like power hungry headphones, but I mainly use IEMs. So yeah, it's a cab. Oh, cane. Right. Moving back, where was I? Oh my God, I'm lost. But yeah, I like conversations like this. Like I get lost. Like our conversation now is so far from my title. It's NA20, NF Audio, NF Acous. Yeah, it's okay-ish. Um, I'm also getting the Zgot Odyssey. Zgot Odyssey, Odyssey. Oh yeah, where is it though? Man, I wish it's on the way. I want to make sure that I'm home during its delivery date. Let's see. Kine has a built-in tube amp? Ah, because they have this removable module, right? Yeah. There's so many sources to. Oh, okay, it's in New York now. Yeah, probably next week I'll expect that. And I think I'm also getting the Fio Planar. Was it the is it a new though? No, not the headphones, the IEMs. FP3, I think. And they asked me like if I'm willing to pay the tariff. Like, there's nothing that I can do about it. You know, like if you want, you know. And if audio is seems not interested in you, oh man. Jace Iyagi? An awfully underrated IM. That is a very familiar name. Is this the guy who does speakers? Ah, I think he's the guy who does speakers, right? Or something? Yeah. 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 I've seen his reviews. Maybe? I'm not really into home systems yet. Or speakers. Um, Definitely he has his own audience. Probably like, yeah, home theaters and stuff like that. I can't really say. Um, yes. Maybe he's trusted. Right, yeah. He's Korean, okay. Hmm. Yeah. It's maybe he can be, I don't know. I mean, it's not about, it's really not, you you read between the lines. It's everyone can be a reviewer at some point. He's the one praising that channeling player, yeah. I mean, everyone can be a reviewer at some point, but um you also have to, let's say for example, have the same preferences as a reviewer, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's more like, like a reviewer should be transparent on his music choices, stuff like that. And then at a certain point, your ears just become better at what, like, deciding what is good and what's not. It's just the nature of humans, like, I mean, like, you mix ale, if you go to Japan and start listening to, like, every day, like, I was like that in Japan. Like, almost every day I went to earphones, tried out different stuff, and naturally you just become better at picking out stuff that are good sounding, and like, not caring about stuff that don't sound good. Just that's just the way it is. We just naturally become better at it. And in his case, if you ask me if he's trustworthy, first to ask is, do you think his music taste matches your preferences? And if it is, I mean, like, if someone likes Shanley, I'd probably trust the guy. That's just me. If someone trusts Shanley, I'd probably... Oh man.
A fool, which I maintain is one of the worst names you can give your own brand.
I'm watching Corinne now. I think
IEMs before on this channel, the Performer 5 as well as the Performer 5 Plus 2, or more accurately the Performer 7, both of which have been their most popular models, which is kind of unlike most IEM brands where their most popular models...
Oh, they have the 8. I just talked about the 8, right? The Performer 8 is in my desk because that thing in there, no one has ever, like, at least for me, it's a very unique, neutrally tuned IM. The treble, can be iffy, but with the right source, dude, that Apple P8 paired with this K7, because this K7 is, what's this? Dang, I forgot the DAC. AKM, sorry, like AKM chip. Oh, majestic, man. The Apple P8 majestic.
Spectrum, the cheapest budget ones, as well as their most expensive. Most people would know Apple for their Performer 5 series, but even less would know them for their more underrated model.
Really?
The Performer 8.
Well, yeah, maybe kind of like underrated. So no one talks about it.
The full Performer 8, as the name implies, comes in with an 8-driver configuration, 7 balanced armatures, as well as a single dynamic driver woofer. It retails for then the Performer 5 as well as the Performer experience. Well, if you've unboxed one Apple product, you really have unbox them all. Unlike the other Apple, you're gonna get...
Let's skip the unboxing, man. Let's see what he thinks about Apple P8.
This is one of the thinnest nozzle that I've seen in a build of this size. On the flip side, this could have some... doesn't come with a lip. So depending on how much you ears and for interchange 0.4 mm SKU. In terms of comfort, it is a planes. Now let's talk about the sound.
Okay.
And let's face it, the Apple Performer 8 is kind of a old school kind of tuning at this point. It follows more or less the IEF 2020 kind of neutral-ish sound signature.
Okay.
Something that I still can appreciate even till today. But for some people who are chasing, of course, that kind of new meta mid-range, this is not an IEM for you. The Apple Performer 8 sound signature is a mild V-shape, a very, very mild one. You can tell that the bass is what I'll consider a very exciting listen relative to all the other V-shape sets that are out there on the market today. This is a balanced signature, if you want to call it that. The bass is very well controlled. It is more sub-bassy than it is.
I really like the bass on the P8.
The treble is sparkly, there is brilliance, but not to the point where I'll call it sibilant, and definitely much less emphasized than even its predecessor, the Apple Performer 5. So putting the comparison out there, compared to the Performer 5 as well as the Performer 5 Plus 2, the Performer...
I didn't like the 5 Plus 2, really. Like, all of my DAPs, it's AKM. AKM sound is nice. AKM... yeah, I know AKM chips. For me, this is, yeah, I think AKM's implementation is really great. No. It's, I think it still boils down to the company, really. Like, who is doing the AKM. I'd probably want to hear how Shanling does AKM. They are natural sounding, like dead neutral. No boost in the treble, no additional stuff in the bass. So I don't know if it's a DAC or just the implementation of the company or Fosse Audio in this case. But yeah, definitely it's you know AKM I like.
Number 8 is definitely a lot more subdued on both ends of the spectrum. You are going to get less bass as well as less treble compared to the 5 series, which is kind of the point. You buy the Performer 8 if you're looking for a more neutral, more reference, and quite frankly, a more balanced kind of that a little bit extra compared to the Performer 5 as well as the 5 Plus 2. In a way, I would regard the Performer 8 as a more refined version of the 5 series. You are going to get more resolution, a more matured tuning, but at the same time, you also have to pay a little bit extra for that. Now let's talk about the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, where you should a bit more like a fan of the 5 series and I'm just looking for the extra and why you should then you might want to provide you an listen. The Performer 8 is also of the old meta tuning, which is more colored in the vocals, but again, as I've said, some people might find that the resin build or simply the fact that it itself at the Hangout. We're located
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, it's an S ranker for me. I mean, if you know my sheets, where's my sheets? Where's my sheets? Yeah, I have my recommendations right there, and I just want to stick to my plan. Like in every price range, I would only recommend 10. And so either I would add one and remove. So in my 121 to $250, it's reached its limit. It's already 10. Um cuz that's just a bloodbath in there, man. And Mega 5 piece in there. What else though? So that's why like SimGod, if there's something really good in this price range, probably the SimGod EA1. No, the Nova's probably gonna be the next one that's gonna get dethroned. Probably the Truth Air Nova. Yeah. Phones are ESS and hey dude, like your phones are ESS because you only have LG. You only have LG, man. Right? Serious Logic, definitely, yeah. Like DAX, man, like 43131, it's 43198. It's I don't know, like um yeah. Have you heard the DC Ibasso DC Elite? Really want to try that though. Like I might go the dongle route. I might go the dangle route. Like I know it's expensive for a dongle, but like a lot of people have been praising it, a lot. And it actually makes sense if I go the dangle route because I already have DApps. And if I really just want to chase that referencey clean signature, it's probably just better to go that route. I'm not sure. I can't justify getting the DC Elite. How much is it? $400, man. Like it's almost the same price as the M3 Plus, right? $400. 499. Damn, man. Really, it's. How about you guys? Like, what would you choose? Ibasso DC Elite or Shanling M3 Plus? It's Adapt, Android. None of them. What's no? Which one would you choose? The DC Elite or Shanling? Both are similarly priced, about $400. So I don't know. It's when I go to Japan, I'll definitely audition this first. Definitely audition this first, because a lot of people like in the reviews. Not a fan of them. Yeah, their sound signature is contrasty, like fun, and I probably understand why people like that. Um, they're a little bit colored sounding, so, but I mean that's just based off of memory, and that's the implementation that it's so likable. It's easy to like, if that makes sense. Very contrasty, a little bit colored. What's the rival of the elite? I don't know what's the rival of the DC elite. Is it the Q style? Oh, Ivy Go Bar. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Ivy Go Bar. Man, like, wow. I mean, good for you. You're able to try those. Like, that's why when I review dongles, I know there are probably better reviewers out there for sources. I just release my reviews because just heck of it. But I really try my best to explain what I hear. Definitely. It is colored. Yeah, I know it is colored. And I know you like you want your sound signature to be really kind of like that. hmm But who knows, man? Like, have you tried the DC Elite? I really want to try it though. I really want to audition that. Um, Q Style M18i, yeah. Well, if I was in Japan, it's because every week, like I don't know, like every day they have new release, and I just check the earphones website if there are any new release. I'm pretty sure it's there, the iPasso, and I just listen to it. Yeah. All right. Ooh, lucky you, lucky you. I actually told my wife I'm probably gonna buy a DAP last night, and she said, "You just bought a lens." I actually just bought a lens. Ah, I claim PD6 on Saber, uncolored clean quite happy. That is a familiar name. I've heard of that. Ah, this one here, PD6. Yeah. Yeah, clean, really. Yep. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Um, there's this. What source was that? Oh my god, I forgot. But yeah, it's hard to recommend something that they don't disclose the DAC chip. What is that? I forgot. But yeah, there's this. Was it from Sonshay Memory? Sonic Memory, yeah, Sonic Memory dongle. They said like it sounded like, and it's powerful, man. It's SA 500, yeah. I want to know what other people think about this though. Like they say it's like a tube sound. It does sound. I mean, like there's. It is warm. It definitely is. Like when you listen to this guy here, Sonic Memory, it's like, wow, this is a different source. It does sound really analog. But again, they don't disclose what chip they're using in there, or what circuitry they're doing. Um, so I might like if I get the chance to try like tube amps, it's probably the time when I get to compare it with actual tube amps. Because I think they market this as like a tube amp sound. So, hmm. Right. I guess that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for staying. Really, it's just I do this every week from time to time. Just impressions and talking, like no flowery words. Like before my review, like sometimes I make my review presentable because it's an online space. There is a better way to criticize products, but lives, sometimes I may be a little bit too honest during live streams. If, it's not that I am like kissing manufacturers like toes or something. But then again, yeah, again, there's a way to present stuff because I also understand how the market works. I had a business before I know how this works a little bit, and anyhow, like if it doesn't sound good, it would reflect in my scoring anyway. Like it wouldn't reach. It's probably just gonna end up a B. Um, my next review would probably be yeah, the Fosse Audio K7. I think it's a very good um not really gaming. Like I feel like the if you really want a gaming, I feel like the Sound Blaster is still very feature rich. But for the sound, I mean, I can't compare a lot because I've only heard so little DAC amps. But I prefer the sound of the Fosse Audio K7. It is also more powerful. But gaming wise, like feature rich, I think the Sound Blaster is the one to get. Um, and also with the K7, it has to be powered DC. This one here, it's USB powered, so it's more kind of like detachable, put it in your pocket, stuff like that. Not really in your pocket, but in your bag. So it's more portable than the K7. But I also feel like there's pros and cons, really. I wish I had speakers to test them out, though. I was actually planning on getting speakers, the Kanto speakers, Kanto Auras. But I just, again, I can't justify my wife on when's my use case. And she doesn't want loud, so there's really no, I can't find. But really, in the future, I really want to get speakers, so that I can try out these DAC amps. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for staying. My next review probably this week, the K7, and after that, hopefully the Odyssey, the Zgot Odyssey. So that's it. And oh, the NA20 probably, I don't know, maybe next week. Um, but yeah, thank you so much and enjoy your weekend. Yes, Odyssey. Right. I'm not sure if it's gonna end up an S for me. I know a lot of people like the Odyssey, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.